We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
I may not be a millionaire. I may not have a brand new Frigidaire. My clothes ain't all fancy, and my car ain't brand new, but there is joy in my house.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Join My House, inspirational reality broadcasting show with a touch of recovery. A reality radio show where nothing is left unsaid.
And no one is insignificant. Who says it?
I'm joined here by my co-host and recording artist Lolita Robinson. Welcome to another Sunday.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
And you're
good
looking
to be
all
here.
dapper.
Thank you.
You're on your way to Vegas?
I am on my way to Vegas. I'm actually taking my mother
That's awesome.
for the beauty expo.
And my
hair
daughter-in-law's down there.
Yes, that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to go and just kind of, even though I'm doing all the driving and I did all the booking and just kind of go and relax.
Oh, you poor baby.
I know. Don't feel sorry for me.
I
That's
don't.
for sure.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, God's
I
been
wish
really
I could
good
go.
to me. You should go with me. We should
I
take it.
wish.
Last night I got an opportunity to go to Buddy's event at
I feel
Hemingway's.
so bad. I forgot all about it. I'm up there watching. Brad Pitt was a good movie, y'all. But I wanted to go.
Well, yeah, I was surprised not to see you, but you said, you were spending time with your son,
my
so
son
that worked
Seth,
out.
Yeah, we had a good time.
But I had an opportunity to go, and he did a great thing for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
That's so neat. Well, did he have other artists? Because I wanted to ask you about
He had
that.
a lot of artists.
Okay, and what were they doing?
And
Just giving their talent
Yes.
service?
Yeah, I hope so. I think he did. I think they were.
Mm-hmm.
But he put on a pretty amazing event. I was kind of a little bit reluctant. It's at a bar. It's in Hollywood. What's it really going to be like? And it was very, very, very joyful, very pleasant.
Good.
The crowd and the
good.
atmosphere was nice. And he
It was
played
for a
everything.
wonderful cause.
It was.
Yeah.
And people donated. And I mean, I donated when normally I'd be like, all right, I'll give a little bit. But I was
Okay.
able to give a little bit more this
Good,
time. And
good.
and thanks to Deborah Hayter organizing the event.
She gets around. Good for her.
Yeah, they put on a really amazing event, and it was eclectic.
Oh,
It was
that's beautiful. I'm
eclectic, so-
glad you went. Well, you've been the man of the hour. See, that's what you like. See, that's your personality. I like to stay home and read and just come out when I have to, like a mole or something. But you like to go out and be social. I'm not. That's
To
not
be
me.
honest with you, I like to stay home too now as I
No.
get a little older and I have my children. I'd rather stay home. But
Yeah.
like you said, you mentioned
have
it the other
different gifts.
day. You got to go out and sometimes support a little bit if possible, if
Yeah,
you can. And
very good. I'm glad you
So-
went, buddy. I'm sorry. I tell you, I forgot all about it. But next time,
We'll
I
just
will.
have to go to the
I would
next
like
one.
to go. I would love to go.
So I do want to recap last week's show. We had an amazing Father's
Yes, we
Day. Happy
did.
belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And we had Pastor JT, Jeff Timberland
Yes,
from
yes.
Bridges Church, from our church.
That's
come
right.
and
I
give our
was
message.
not there this morning. That was not my plan, but some things came up. So I love what you were sharing during our prayer time.
Yeah, I love my church. I don't know how to say it. I love Pastor JT, who's actually mentoring me, and he sent over a book to me that we're going to read together.
And Jason and
Yeah.
all of the other guys, Steve, and I'm just forgetting some of the people. Tom, our elders, it's a
do
great,
really-
it's a community church. Even though JT's the pastor, it's important to him that he comes along side other people to encourage them in leadership and to be a part of the body. He's not one who likes to just be
on top. He's
on the
just
top.
the opposite. If you were to
Yeah.
meet him, you would never know that he's our
right.
lead pastor.
Yeah, that's right. So,
But he had
it's
a great
awesome.
Father's Day message, and what it means to be a father, and how some of the fathers, in the Bible, they didn't have great path.
Mm-mm.
And I think that I related to that. I wasn't a great father when I was younger, and to now partake in my children's upbringing, it's really a blessing. It's
And
really
it
a blessing.
Got me to see too. I was thinking about that. I wrote on Facebook about how I think God did that to show us that there is no perfect person. That's why we need a savior. I mean, I don't care, the best Christian wife, husband, the
Right.
best, the most talented, whatever. It's a blessing that we have them, but nobody can come before the Lord.
And he
And
was
we
actually
cannot make it without him.
that was part of his message today.
Oh, really?
Was actually that. He was talking
Okay.
about the Beatitudes, that we have to come to him. And it's not going through all these steps that makes us worthy.
Right.
He paid the ultimate price.
Mhm.
And through him we're worthy. Because in actuality we're not worthy.
And he's the ultimate father for
Yeah.
those that don't have a father here. That's great. I'm glad that you shared that then
It
today.
is just amazing.
Yeah.
God's been so. It's just my foundation
Yeah.
now, and it wasn't before. I gotta say, it was not. I was so in myself. I was so in the world, and I don't have anything now. I've lost everything.
Oh,
And to
the best is yet to come.
yeah, and
You say, but you know that's true.
and now that I have nothing, I'm more at peace than I ever was in my life.
Right.
And I'm sometimes the loneliest, but at the same time, when I get down on my knees, God does give me that comfort.
Well,
Yeah.
because I think we make relationships idols. I
We
know
do.
I did. I was a relationship addict. We haven't talked about that one yet. You know, we've talked about the other stuff, but myself, I remember one year before I got in recovery, I was in love with 12 different people. I wasn't involved with all of them, but man, we make relationships, we idolize these things, and people call me they're crying because they haven't met people. I mean, it's a nice thing to have it, but we got to put that stuff in perspective. And I think he teaches us to live.
And that's what he's
with
working
him.
with me on right now.
I believe so. He's
That is-
teaching you what would you say? For
I'm
people
in the
that
desert.
are out there that don't have a loved one. I get it all the time. I don't have
Well,
anybody.
you know, I was with my girlfriend for about 3 years,
Uh-huh.
and it was up and down. But I really fell in love with her, and I was really idolizing her, you know.
Yep.
And I wanted her to be this person with me in ministry, and to. I remember you telling me something that really stuck with me, and you said, "If you're not doing it in the Lord, how can the Lord bless it?"
That's right.
And it was so
Not build
true.
on him.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
And he's a jealous God. He will not have other people or other things before him. Not if you really want to serve him.
Right. And
You know.
I think that's why he kind of worked with me to the point where I had to kind of put a boundary up and say, am I really doing this in Christ? And now I'm alone. And it's hard and it's lonely, but I know because of the comfort that he's given me through, like I said, through ministry now with my daughter, that we do a program together, through, you know, having Pastor JT, having yourself, and having these relationships now built on sincerity and honesty, really give me a lot of peace and comfort, even though
Well,
it's not what I thought,
No.
you know, the successes of the world.
No, it's not.
But I
that's
have a
what
lot
people
of
think.
peace. I have a
Yeah.
lot of peace. Like today, I'm going with my mother to Vegas.
That is awesome. That really is. And I am jealous. But I'm going to go because I want to see Jersey Boys. I'm working on that. I want to see Jersey
did
Boys. I
mention
love
that. You
Frankie
did
Valli.
mention
I love
that.
his music, so I'm working on it. But good for you. I'm glad you're going. You work hard. I tease you, but you work hard.
I try, and like I said, but I want it to be in Christ.
Yeah.
I want it to be in Christ, and that's why I'm willing to submit myself under Pastor JT. And he tells me to eat nails, I eat nails. I remember
Okay.
you used to tell me, go to a meeting, or write this
That's
down
it.
in your journal.
That's right. Go.
Call me in the morning, let me know that you've done all these things.
Right.
And I needed to be taught those things, and I still need to be taught.
That's
so I
right.
think the people around me now are really a blessing
Mhm.
in my life. And I'm grateful today, ladies and gentlemen. I have a lot of joy in my house because of the work that God has done and the people that he's brought, like Lolita, like, you know, Paul Obo, and even Larry Lorenzo, and Pastor
all the different
Jeff Jim.
people.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
I can go, my sponsors, my A sponsors, my CR program.
Mm-hmm. Kathy Taylor and John Brennan, everybody.
Yeah.
I want to give a plug. I'm getting to go to Friendship Baptist Church again
That's
in
right.
Loma Linda on Thursday.
Yeah, for
for
Dr.
CR.
Reverend Linda Long's church.
So come on out and give that church some props, and I'll be sharing some specific ways in how God uses the third step, how we made a fearless decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. And I can really see you never arrive in this program. You don't. You get to a place and he goes, well done, let's go deeper. So
Yeah.
come out if you get a chance. I'm going to share on that on Thursday.
And that is in Yorba Linda, Friendship Baptist Church. Look up their website. It is friendshipbaptistchurch.org. And Reverend Dr. Linda Long has been on our show.
Yes, she has. And they have a CR on Thursday nights there. So if you're in that area.
Come out and support, you know, and make sure you link up with us on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Find Lolita Robinson Coppage on Facebook. Become a fan and you get her updates. Also, join my house Facebook Join My House. You can find us there as well. And if you're just listening to us on iTunes or any of your mobile devices, you can stream us live on Ustream.tv, ladies and gentlemen. Ustream.tv /LA Talk Live Radio. And you can watch the show in its entirety and watch some of our archive shows as well. We have had amazing guests on the show.
And we have one coming today. He
And
is so
today-
sweet. I've been calling him Philippe. He reminds me of Philippe, but he's not. He's Patrick.
Patrick Abbate.
Yes.
He is a European musical artist. You're not going to want
Really
to
nice
miss,
man.
ladies
I
and
just
gentlemen.
met him just a few minutes ago, but there's such a spirit about him.
There really is.
And he's done so much, and it's just I'm looking forward
And
to this.
he's really humble. When I met
Yeah,
him, he
he
was
is.
just very quiet, very humble, but
I'm
had a
looking
big
forward to
smile.
it.
So we have an
Yeah.
exciting show
Mhm.
today with Patrick Abbate, a European musician who's going to come on today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joy in My House. I want you guys to stay tuned. Our studio line is open at 323-247-7443 with any questions or comments. We look forward to seeing you. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joy in My House.
In the early dawn of day, he quietly slips away. A peaceful and humble man, he seeks his Father and prays. He is not God, so they say. He doesn't really hear. That's not so, he's just a prayer away for those who draw near. Emmanuel from Galilee. Emmanuel set the captives free. Clothes ain't all fancy and my car ain't brand new, but there is joy in my house.
Hello, I'm Joel Ramirez
And I'm Lolita Robinson Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
on LATalkLive.com. Inspirational radio,
with a touch of recovery.
a reality show where nothing is left unsaid,
And no one is insignificant who says it.
exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Julie Orlov, inviting you to join us every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our all-new show, Pathways to Love. Join us as we talk about love and relationships and how you can create the relationships you desire. So don't forget to tune in to Pathways to Love every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio, or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
My hope is built.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Joy in My House, reality broadcasting show with a touch of recovery. I'm joined here by author of Shaped by the Master's Hands, Lolita Robinson,
Hi
as my
there.
co-host. And we have our in-studio guest, Patrick Abbate, a European
Patrick.
musician.
guys.
Yay.
Welcome
to
Get
the
our
show,
applause.
Patrick.
Where's our
Thanks.
applause?
Thanks
It
for
won't
inviting
Come
me.
on, it won't come on. Yay! Okay, I'm
Yeah.
looking to. And hi, Van Eric. I want to always say hi to you every week. Love you.
Hi.
Well, Patrick, thank you for coming on the show. I was introduced to you by John Rockmore from Rockmore Entertainment, and we're talking to him about working with Lolita and John as well. And I was surprised when I saw you. You know, we talk about our show being an inspirational internet broadcasting show, and he said, this guy, you want to hear his story. And you were faithful enough to come on the show, and I got a chance to sit down with you and have some coffee with you and hear your story.
Where did you see him first?
I met him through John, and we had coffee.
Okay, so John just told you to come and
Yeah.
have a
Let's
have
say
a
that,
meeting? Okay.
John told him about me, so he should start selecting his friends.
Okay. Okay.
But I do want to thank you for coming on the show because you were very faithful and hearing your story and seeing how humble you were. I was like, you're so relevant for a show like this to bring other people encouragement and hope through your perseverance. So thank you for coming on the show one more time.
Oh, thanks. Thanks to you for inviting me. I mean, you're really brave that you invited me. Like, if I go to the church, I will probably start burning. But
No, it won't. No, it won't. It's just interesting to have different perspectives from different people from different parts of the world
Yeah.
and your experience. Just I'm just excited to hear about
yeah.
how you got in music and all
Yeah.
of the things that you're doing with your guitar. And so I'll be quiet. Just go ahead.
No, no, come on.
Well, let's start. You grew up in Sardinia, Italy.
Yeah. I grew up in Sardinia, Italy, like 33 years ago. Even if I look like 70 years old.
No,
I'm
you
just
don't.
33. No, and
How was it growing up in Sardinia? How was that environment?
was awesome. I mean, it's a beautiful country. Like we have awesome nature all over the place. It's a big island.
Wow.
Like many people in the U.S. they don't know about Sardinia.
Well, that's why I'm
No,
saying
yeah.
there's a
It's
lot
so
of viewers
weird.
out there who are like, Sardinia, well, where's that at?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
exactly
it like?
how close?
Yeah, it's like Italy has two major islands, two big islands. One is Sicily. Everybody
yeah,
knows
no,
about
Sicily,
Sicily.
yeah.
And the other one is Sardinia. But it seems that here they don't know about Sardinia. That's so weird. So I have to change this thing up.
Wow, but sounds like a really
So you-
nice place where people can go and have honeymoons that are kind of
Yeah, it's
not
like-
as popular.
Actually, many people say that it's like the best place in the world for the beach.
I
It's
bet.
like,
I bet.
Like, all the very rich and famous people, they know about Sardinia.
That's
like
what I was
Steven
thinking.
Spielberg is there every year in summer. Rihanna was there last year. Like,
Wow.
They
you
know.
know.
They know.
yeah, Liz Taylor was going there every year.
Well, now I
Really?
know. Now
Now
we
we
got
know,
we got
yeah.
we got to plan a trip out there.
Yeah.
So
I'm
what would
going-
bring you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
They kicked me out. you know. I don't understand why the U.S. didn't kick me out yet. I don't know about
But
that.
you grew up with your mother and your father.
Yeah, my personal story is basically that I'm born from a father and a mother.
Right. Okay. Word hatched.
Uh,
Okay.
No, and pretty soon they started having some issues, like I remember to me it's funny now my first memories is about them throwing each other glasses and plates. It's kinda
Like that commercial. Have you
funny.
seen the commercial for some kind of a yogurt or something, ice cream? And it's an Italian couple. It's beautiful. They're fighting and then they're kissing and then they're fighting.
Yeah, it's the Italian way. I
Okay,
think it's kind of
it's
weird.
wonderful.
It's funny, yeah, because
Have you
in
seen
the
the
movie,
commercial?
no, but in Ratatouille, they show a scene where the rat's going through the apartments,
Right.
and he sees this couple arguing and they're fighting, and the girl has a gun to him, and then
And the
she
rat
shoots
is
him,
like-
and
the-
then they grab the gun and they start making out.
That's it.
Oh, I thought that the rat was like singing. It was like, oh, these are Italians. And
no,
you
no.
get
no,
out
but
immediately.
just very passionate. Very, very passionate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Very passionate.
Yeah, and so I mean, they've split when I was like 4 years ago. They 4 years old. They broke up, and so I've been staying with my father on the beginning. Then he had
No
another.
brothers or sisters? You're the only child?
I have like 3 billions of brothers and sisters.
Oh, okay, so that's
but
another
I'm-
story.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
like, this is tough. We
All
don't
right.
have 5 hours. No,
Okay,
I-
okay, all right. So we'll
No,
just stick with you.
No, but
Okay.
I'm kidding. It's basically I have many, but I'm like the only prototype with my father and my mother.
Okay,
Oh, I
So I
see.
have
that's
half
very
brothers
clear.
and sisters, But they are awesome. Like I have.
And you were raised Catholic. I understand that.
Yes, yeah.
In
In Italy, I mean, there is no alternatives.
Okay, all right.
They're like, very. Of course, I mean, it's obvious. We have the Vatican.
That's
there,
right,
and
you
the
do.
history
The Pope,
was
so
there,
you
yeah.
better, okay, all right.
Now, what age did you start playing guitar?
I've started playing guitar when I was 11, but
And what got you interested? Was anybody else in your family a musician?
no, it's weird. It's actually it was weird when I didn't speak with my mother for a long time. So when we started speaking again after like 75 years,
Okay.
she told me, yeah, the first person that gave you a guitar was me, and I was like, what is she talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? And she told me, yeah, I have proofs. and she gave me these pictures. It's actually funny. It was Polaroid.
Oh, right,
old
back
back
in
in
the
the
day,
day,
yeah.
yeah.
and it's me when I was like 3 years old, something like that, with an electric guitar.
Wow.
As a toy, like plastic electric guitar. And there was my picture with this guitar. And the thing that was crazy to me is that I had already the right poster.
Oh,
on that.
so
Ah,
you know.
So
interesting.
it's like, sometimes somebody comes to, like back in the days when I was teaching a lot, sometimes somebody was coming like to start playing guitar, and they were like, yeah, I bought this guitar 1 month ago, but I don't know how to play it, and they didn't know if to put the neck on the left or on the right.
Right.
And when I was just a little kid, I was already,
You already had the
know,
form. You
there,
already kind of
you know.
it felt even though you didn't know it then,
Yeah.
you were at home with it.
Yeah, but then I remember something about that experience, and I remember the frustration that I had already when I was a little kid of the fact that this was a toy. So there were these nylon strings that were
wow.
fake, so I couldn't really play it. I think that if they gave me a real guitar, I would probably were starting doing
You would have
something.
been
that-
able to play. You were
Wow.
like, this is
I had
now-
rushed to start doing noise.
So it was your mother who I
Who
wonder
set
if she
the
had
seed?
insight. Did she say she had insight into why she gave you the guitar?
No, she told me that we went on this toy store,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the guitar, and I didn't let her leave the place without buying me the guitar.
Oh,
She had to
wow.
buy me that guitar.
Wow.
Okay. So,
So she
someone's-
set the seed.
Yeah, and that was crazy
well,
already.
there was something there. All right. Okay, because you're going to tell more about how the guitar has a major part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you, I have here in my notes, at 15 years old, you were playing
Yeah,
on
I was-
stage.
What did you teach yourself? Are you self-taught or what? Did you get lessons or
yeah,
what?
I've started teaching myself when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
They finally bought me this guitar.
A
I
real
was
one.
killing them about that. So they bought me this classic guitar, and I've started teaching myself. I didn't know, like, I remember going, like, it's kind of funny today when I go back to Italy. Like last time, I saw this friend, is an older man, that lives in my same building in Italy where I grew up. And he plays guitar, and he was like, I remember when you came to me, like, can you please tune my guitar? And now, he's seeing doing all the
You're doing all
crazy
the things that
things.
you're
It's
doing with
funny.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
so-
it's funny. So, but I've started by myself when I was 11,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was like 14, 15 years old, I was already able to play many songs of my favorite bands and stuff. Actually, when I was 15, I was already playing in front of thousands of people.
Wow,
In
how'd
front of
that happen?
thousands of
How did
people.
that happen?
Because I've joined this band. We were all pretty much the same age, but like 15, 16 years old, and the band was called Elysir.
Elysir.
I
Oh my
heard it.
God. I've
That,
been in
that must
band
give
for
you
a
some
long time.
memories. Yeah,
Wow.
that must
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
some amazing.
Does it have a meaning, Elysir, or is it just means
Elysir
cat or
is
something?
like I think that Elysir is like a drink that gives you
Elixir.
Elixir.
Yeah,
elixir? Oh, I
Yeah.
love the way you
I've
say
said
it.
it. Yeah,
Elysir.
Italian
Sounds a
is
lot better than.
horrible.
I love
My
it.
English is horrible. I know.
You stop that.
I love
No,
it.
go on, go on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's talk about that because at 15 years old, you self-taught and you're
And
playing,
with this
And they were
band.
paying me to
and that's
pretty
the
good
kid.
money.
Are these guys
to
you
do
grew
that.
up with? Your band members? You
Yeah,
said they were
yeah,
your
yeah.
age. You got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people in the village, or
Yeah, I mean, I come from a town that is a little more than 30,000 people.
oh, okay. So that's
It was a huge metropolis. So
yeah, that's not little.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking of like The Godfather walking up, Naples, but still. But so you knew these fellas.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I
already
mean,
met them.
yeah, I knew some of them. I don't remember exactly who told me about the band looking for a guitarist. Actually, I forgot that.
That's
But
okay.
Anyway,
But you started performing and on stage for these thousands of people. Now
Yeah.
explain how that works in your town because you got an opportunity to explain that to me and I thought it was very interesting.
yeah, actually, in Sardinia, we have like hundreds of little towns. Someone is even like 200 people. It's like,
Oh.
but there are many. So every town every year has at least one festival.
Oh,
It's
how
like
neat.
depending on, like, every town there has its own saint. Like I think that like my town Oristano is Mary.
Okay.
St. Mary.
I
So
hope
you'd
I'm
have a
not
festival
saying
for Mary.
wrong or
No,
very
you're not.
good.
No,
I'm just kidding.
it's who you are. You know.
Should be.
No.
And, so it's like when is the day of that saint? every day of the
Right.
year has some different saint, like Saint Patrick for let's say this is an easy example, let you understand. Like in Irish people, Saint Patrick is
They're saying.
yeah, their saint. So in the same way, in Italy, every town
Has
has
their
his
own
own.
saint. And so they have a festival to
Yeah, and they
celebrate.
do, like, all the parts about the church,
Mhm.
with many different things and many different events. And by night, like for 3 to 5 days, usually they have a different concert in the main square of the town. So there's a huge
Oh,
stage, all the
wow.
lights and stuff.
And then
So
everybody from
Everybody
town
comes,
comes.
and so
yeah,
you
and
have
also
a
from the other
regular
towns,
audience.
yeah. And so it was pretty amazing to be that young and already play for all that people. We did top 40 basically,
Yeah.
but was amazing. And when I was 16, I felt that I wanted to go over, like study know even more. So I've started studying classic guitar also,
Very
like
good.
and
What's the
so
difference in study? What's the importance of people who I know in singing? I'm a singer. I studied classical music, and I understand in dance, ballet
yeah.
is the foundation. So is that the same thing with guitar? If you learn classical, you can pretty much play anything. Would you say, or not?
To be honest, many people think that classic guitar and electric guitar are pretty much the same thing almost, and the acoustic guitar, and that's kind of wrong, because the classic guitar you play with your fingers on the right hand, so it's a completely different technique. Plus you have the clean sound. Basically, you want to, when you do like a sequence of notes, you want the notes to play as long as possible. Even if you play one after the other, you want to keep them resonating together.
That's the
That gives
classical.
you even more magic, right?
Right.
With the electric guitar, and that was my problem for whom I kind of stopped studying classic guitar later. With the electric guitar, when you use distortion, every note that goes on top of the other is gonna fight with the other.
Oh.
If you think about that, when you listen to Eric Clapton doing a solo, the guitar sounds like a keyboard, a flute, like boo boo boo. But when you listen them doing a chord, it
Like
becomes
Metallica.
yeah. But even if you don't go with metal bands, just a regular electric guitar distortion becomes so noisy. That noise is because the notes, when you do a chord, you play more notes, so they are fighting each other. This is the easy way to let you
But
understand.
I'm glad
So
this is
the
exciting.
techniques, yeah, is awesome, but it's like the techniques between classic and electric guitar become the opposite.
Oh,
I
The
see.
classic
so
guitar,
that
you
must-
want to play as more notes together as possible, like keep the note resonating even after you played them. With the electric guitar, if you do a fast thing, pidi 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 pidi, you gotta play every note,
I see.
like not in top of the others if you want it to be clean, and then you can make it dirty if you want.
But it's more of
purposely,
a more
but-
of a edgier sound, more
Yeah.
Because
You really explained that very well.
Yeah.
you also study experimental composition.
Yeah, I've studied at the conservatory in Cagliari. I studied.
But with the
uh,
classical, but having that training with the classical, did that give you more?
it's
Did it open up
it's
the door for
awesome.
you more for your other music
Yeah,
too?
first, yeah, of course. I mean,
That's why I want 'cause
now
for
I
people
play.
that are
I
taking
play
lessons
both.
out there, I want people to hear what you're saying for the young
Yeah.
people that are studying.
Yeah, this is awesome. Like, there is a huge difference between electric guitar, classic guitar, and acoustic guitar. The acoustic guitar is kind of in the middle,
I
but
see.
I love all these kind of guitars, and I play all of them. But I change completely my way to play depending on the guitar. Actually, even with the electric guitar, depending on the guitar I have in my hands, I change completely my way to think music. But besides of this aspect, like classic guitar is gonna is something that you usually don't use like to play with a band. The acoustic and the electric usually is more about
Oh,
having
I
a
see.
band. The classic guitar, there's some
but you're
situation where you have
versatile.
the whole band.
You're versatile. See, by knowing
Yeah.
how to do all that, you have a more wider range of what you can do with the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, but also the cool thing about the classic guitar is that thanks to that I've learned how to read music.
Right.
And
there you
that
go.
opens in some little window it's a little door in your brain to a new world.
Yes.
Like you have a way different way to think music then,
Right.
and it's way easier actually. Sometimes I'm doing rehearsal with a band, and this, they tell, or I'm doing a studio session. That's even a
Right.
better situation. Studio session, they tell you, yeah, this part should be ta da 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 da. They sing you the little part, and sometimes I don't even need to write it down. I just see
What they
the
want you to
charts
do.
in my
Yeah.
in my brain, and I can play it. I mean, it's there. I'm not
'Cause
gonna
you-
forget it after a week,
Because
because I can.
you are speaking from experience. Because you mentioned how at one point you had up to 58 students and you were teaching.
Yeah.
So you taught clinics, you taught privately. I mean, you
Yeah,
were really
Well, he could do that because of the fact that you can read music. I'm so glad that you're saying all this, because we talk to people out there the importance of being able to play by ear, but how a whole world is opened up by reading.
Yeah, to me, honestly, not because it's my experience, but it's probably somebody will kill me for this, but in my way, everybody has his own way to see it. But my way is that I think I was really lucky to start by myself, in the way that helps you to really have a different approach to the instrument. Because if I know somebody that has started playing guitar just studying, like at schools, especially if you go to schools, it depends. Sometimes there are schools that have their own like a program. So even if they change the instructors, you're gonna do the same, pretty much the same things of everybody else. It's different when you have a school that has different instructors for different things. Like one does guitar, one does ear training. That's a different story. That's cool. But like sometimes the risk is that because in the way the instructor is gonna build the program on you. So if you have a great instructor, that's awesome. But the fact that you keep a little, even then, if you keep a little side of the study thing, just to do your own thing, also, is gonna help you to have a different feeling. You don't want to be too, let's say, academic
Right.
on the way to think music.
Right.
Because sometimes
You
you
have your own
study.
style. That's like
Yeah.
a singer who can sing cover tunes, but not have their own flair,
Yeah.
their own.
Right,
That's what
right.
you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So
Well, I do
the best
wanna-
is to do a mix between the two things. For me, it's for sure.
Well, yeah, you want to be versatile, but I did want to talk about kind of some of the challenges that you faced a little bit, and one of them was your father passing,
Yeah.
and this was at a young age. How old were you?
I was 18,
You were 18.
and I mean, as you can assume, like after my parents broke up.
And your father raised you, you said, right? Or you
Yeah,
were with him mainly?
yeah. I have been raised by him and his wife. He had another wife later, and we are in really good relationships now with her too. But it wasn't easy for both of us.
Well, you
know,
got
in
to
the
blended
beginning.
families never are.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
hard.
I know.
is, yeah.
So it wasn't easy, to grow up. And I mean, my father was my main reference.
Oh.
And when he died, I was 18. I was like, okay, this is the worst that can happen in my life.
What
I've
happened? Was
reached
he
the
sick?
bottom.
Was he sick?
Yeah, he had cancer.
Yeah,
It
my
happened
husband died
in
of
2
cancer.
months.
Oh,
So,
when he got diagnosed, he was gone in 2 months?
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't even
unbelievable.
have a chance to prepare.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was, pancreatic and liver, so you can't do anything. And even in 98 was really, I mean, today
Yeah, it's still not
it's
a.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
But even through that
said he
challenge
hit
and that
bottom.
struggle,
Yeah, even then, like, the point is, I had this whole situation to face, and I was like, okay, this is the worst that can happen. Now, God, I was really, really into the church, as I said. So I was like, God now is gonna bring me up again, because I can't even imagine worse than this. So it can't be worse, And so after he died, after 1 month, I had my graduation. My graduation as accountant, like a diploma.
As an accountant.
as an accountant,
Yeah.
yes, this is interesting that he got
Yeah.
An
his
accountant?
degree.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I have a lot of resources.
You sure do.
Yeah,
An accountant.
No,
My
to me,
goodness.
the accountant thing was like on the side. I mean, I've never. No, in the sense that
Oh my
honestly,
goodness.
I've never taken it so seriously. But
So
my
you're
father.
obviously excellent in math.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I mean, so humble. I'm telling you,
Not
I mean,
kidding.
such an
So
interesting.
your father
story.
probably said, "Listen, let's get this accounting degree, right?
Yeah,
you
no,
can
he
do the
was like-
music if you
yeah,
want."
no, because to him, he wanted me to go to the university, to the.
Yeah, he wanted that. You have that
thing, but-
security.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't. No,
Oh,
no. The
but you
point.
did honor him. You got
But
that
yeah, you
degree,
got that
brother.
degree.
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
at least,
and
no,
after
it's
his
funny.
passing,
It's
after his
funny.
passing, he continued,
Wow.
and he still got his degree.
Yeah, like 1 month after I had
Oh.
the final
Uh-huh.
sessions to quit it. But the point is that the funny thing is that I wasn't really that involved on that. Like to me, that was one side of the like my father, and that's pretty normal in Italy that you got have at least a diploma. That's really normal. So it was like, yeah, but you gotta have at least that. And I was like, okay. So I was studying, and when I came back home for lunch every day, like I was at home around 2, and at 3 p.m. I already had somebody knocking at the door to do guitar lessons. So from when I
Wow.
was 15, 16, I was already
Yeah, quite a
making
worth
money
ethic. Worth ethic.
teaching,
Yeah.
playing with a band,
How nice.
and studying
Wow.
at school.
That is
And I
amazing.
didn't lose any year there. It's like,
You think your father had a lot to do with that in terms
yeah,
of
of
shaping that?
course. Yeah, I mean, I've always been that kind of guy that from when I was a kid, he told me what was good and what was bad,
And you
and I
listened.
followed that. Actually, even if I had all this career as guitarist, I've been all over the world, and I've been doing anyway things already when I was a teenager. I've never even tried any kind of drug in my life,
Oh,
That's
and
Patrick,
amazing.
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
and
Well, your
I don't.
father in
I
that
didn't
short
even try a
time,
cigarette,
you did,
and he used to smoke, so he was worse than me. No,
but
no.
even in the short time that you had with him, he
Yeah.
prepared you.
Yeah,
Whatever he did, he prepared you, which was awesome. He left you something which was way beyond what you could ever imagine, I think.
yeah. I mean, it's like I think that when you are born from somebody like my father that I really thought was an amazing person,
And what was his
like
name?
Antonio.
Antonio.
Yeah,
He's looking
and
down, proud.
I used to call him Tony to laugh. It's a long story. It
Mhm.
was like,
Mhm.
no, and no, and when you got such an example like that, we've never had any fight in all my life. It's like was amazing. We were like friends. It was super cool.
Mhm.
So
That's
if you
amazing.
are smart, you understand. If he told me that I shouldn't do this thing, there's probably a reason. Like
Mm.
Because you
so that
trusted him, though.
helps.
You had
Yeah,
that trust in him that when he said something, you believed him.
But
And I
not
think
all.
that's
You
important.
trusted your dad, but
Yeah. No.
yeah.
but
It's
we all do
just
different. Yeah.
probably the real difference is that I am a weirdo.
Well, I want to continue with
Talented
that
weirdo.
Yeah.
because you actually ended up moving to Rome at 19.
Yeah, actually, yeah, this is a really important aspect. I mean, because this is about
This show is about
inspirational
inspiration to
things. So
inspire people.
yeah, so it's cool to share with people some aspects. Like when I said that was the worst possible and couldn't be worse, I was wrong. Because actually, for 3 years and a half, from when I was 18 and he died, it was worse and worse and worse.
Wow.
Like I was like, oh my God, so worse exists. Many times. 3 years and a half was long.
Because you were grieving the loss of him.
No, not only that. After that, I had like difficult situations. I was living by myself, trying like I moved to Rome to study guitar, and I paid all the studies and stuff. But it was a really hard life I was having there, so
You didn't
it was
fit. Felt like you
tough.
didn't fit. Everything was kind of off kilter for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like nothing was really working in the right way. So I had really tough times. And at the end of these 3 years and a half, I found myself completely alone, and like was really tough. But in the very very worst moment, I had a funny thing I have to share. So the thing is, I just bought a guitar. That was the guitar of my dreams. Very expensive. I had to pay it forever, but I did it. And after a few days that happened, I found something is gone wrong, and I was like in an even worse situation. And I think that guitar to me was like a way to try to get back,
To where you
to
were.
yeah,
Some kind of
and
foundation.
yeah, I had a really weird times then. So what I basically did, I've at the end I was like thinking for the last 2 months of these 3 years and a half, I was thinking to you know to end it.
End your
Like
life?
yeah.
You really
Like
got it. Really
yeah,
got that bad.
yeah.
Wow.
And
Were you drinking during that time? I know you mentioned that a
right
little bit.
after,
Okay.
we got, yeah.
Okay.
And but every night I was at that point where I had the case with the guitar on the side of my bed. So I
Mhm.
used to open the case, watch this beautiful guitar. If you see it, even if you don't know anything about guitar,
You
that
know,
looks
it's like a
amazing.
Stradivarian
Yeah, it's
violin.
like all
Yeah.
abalone and pearl all over the
Oh,
place.
I'd
It
like
was
to see that. You still
amazing.
have it?
No, I
Okay, well,
actually,
go ahead with the
yeah.
story.
And anyway, I see the guitar and I was like, no, you can't do this. With this guitar, if you do that, like everybody will laugh at
Oh,
you. It's like if you
wow.
were the owner of this awesome guitar.
Why would
Why
you
would
give
you
up?
end your life?
Yeah, and I'm saying this because basically the guitar is what kept me,
Mhm.
alive. Let's say that.
Mhm.
And then, and I was just 21 when I was in this situation.
And that's a hard age anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a tough age. You're still
So
finding
And
yourself.
even though you had a diploma, you were teaching music, you've had experience, it's still
yeah, but
still trying to find yourself. Is
at
that
that
what was
point,
going on?
because at that point, I lost everything
When
during
your
the 3 years
dad.
and a half. I lost everything. Even the teaching situation was going wrong because I moved to Rome to study guitar, and let's say that not everybody took it great. The fact that I moved, like to another place,
Yeah.
to study guitar. So when I came back, I kind of had to reconnect with the people around me. It was
Right.
kind of weird. But the point is, I didn't have the students. I didn't have much going on. It was really the worst moment ever
Mhm.
for me. So the thing is that when I get there, like 2 months, really tough. The last 2 months of the 3 years and a half, that is an eternity if you think about that.
It is. It's a
At the
long
end,
time.
one day, and this is funny, I gotta share it, is I woke up and I told myself, you know what? It's 3 years and a half that you're waiting that God brings you up, and it's not happening. It's not happening. So there's something wrong. And I told myself, I speak with myself, I'm crazy. I told to myself, you know what? I think that God is so busy with all these childs in Africa.
He has no time for the child in Italy.
It's like,
Wrong.
yeah, but they are in a
Wow.
worse situation than mine. So makes sense. You know what? I should make it happen by myself. So I've changed completely my attitude, and this is really important. I've changed completely my attitude that day. I was like, you know what?
You gotta do
I'm
something for
strong enough.
yourself.
I can make it happen. So that night I spoke to one of the few friends I had, and I told him, hey, dude, let me know. Like I was renting a room, and I was like, I need a place by myself and stuff. And I told him, you know what? If you hear about a place, somebody that is renting a little place, I will be really happy to go there.
Mhm.
And the guy, the day after, I told him by night, and next morning he calls me. You will never believe it. A
Yeah.
woman came to my studio. He was a painter, and he told me. She came to my studio and asked me, "Do you know about some young guy that is looking for a house that is not gonna be too
Oh
expensive?"
my gosh.
That he could rent the
Yeah,
back
and-
house
yeah.
and
What?
God came
Yeah.
and
So
Yeah.
God was
And
listening.
no, that's the crazy, like, so the crazy thing is that like the day after I did this thing, like I gave the last money, like I saw the house, they gave me the house, I gave to the owner of the house every penny I had, like the whole money to pay 1 month in advance, and the deposit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I gave the money, and this is funny, like I remember me closing the door, she's leaving, I close the door, and I think, okay, I got 1 month to find the money to pay the next
Next
rent.
next
Oh
month.
my God. So and the cool thing is that because I've changed my attitude in 1 week and a half, after 3 years and a half, in 1 week and a half, my life is completely changed. And in fact, from the day after, I started receiving phone calls of people. Every other day, there was a different person calling me. Hey, Patrick, you don't know about me, but you don't know me, but
Oh,
I'm looking for a guitar
wow.
instructor. At the end of
Oh,
the month, I bought a
wow.
scooter, I paid the rent, and I was having a different life. I was a different person.
What did you connect it that God was with you, or did you think it was you?
I don't know. It's like
You think
some
God
of
God
us.
left Africa and then came
Yeah,
back?
no, I think that probably he wanted me to learn that I shouldn't just wait for him to do stuff, right?
Step out. That's true.
So
Faith is what
yeah,
that's a good point.
so today I'm not really, honestly, I'm not really that much into the church thing and stuff, but I'm really spiritual, and some side of that is still, on my
Well,
way to be. It's like,
yes, you are sitting here. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's an incredible story.
yeah, and so from then
But is
I
it?
I
Go
had
ahead.
I ended up having the top was like 58 students. That was driving me crazy because of course it's a lot of
Wow.
time, and everything was going great, and I mean in that sense I was improving everything. Then one day when I was like, oh, and the problem after that was that I felt kind of empty because everything was right, but I felt still kind of alone and stuff. So
That's a
I had,
beautiful point you just made.
yeah, it was so weird on the beginning to like
You
hang
had
out, and
you had
even nobody,
everything.
like knowing that wherever you go, Rome, Sardinia, wherever, nobody is gonna ask himself, "Oh, where is Patrick now?" Like, "Toot, toot, toot, toot. Hey Patrick, what's going?" Like, was weird on the beginning. So because of my age, I think that I kind of had to handle with that on the beginning.
The loneliness, yeah?
Yeah. Honestly, after I've learned about that, I kind of enjoy it now. Like
You enjoy
when
the
I-
loneliness.
when
Now you got a
sometimes
lot of
I have
people,
to turn
yeah.
off the phone. Like it's a nightmare. It's the opposite sometimes. But the point is, back then was kind of tough.
You didn't have
And
any connections. Nobody who really knew you. And
no, it's like I knew people, but it's like it's a weird thing to explain. I felt sometimes it's also how you feel. Maybe the reality was a little better in that sense. I don't
Right.
know, but I felt like really like that. So the crazy thing is that I've started drinking, and also because if you are a
Yeah, but you
musician,
drank. We were drinking after things got better, so it still
yeah,
didn't
because
fix the
still,
inside.
yeah, I was still,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So like
That's
for
good, yeah.
I had 8 9 months where I was drunk every day. Like I was teaching, then by night I was drunk.
Wow.
I was coming back home like at 7:30 a.m. I remember my neighbor seeing me on the very beginning was like, Patrick, what are you doing already awake? It's 7:30. Yeah, I'm coming back home. It's kind of funny. But so after like 8 9 months of that, one day I woke up. Like I'm that kind of guy. One day I wake up and I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. Like the same thing that happened in the other situation, right? And I've quit drinking. On the beginning it was kind of funny. I remember the first Saturday that I didn't drink. I go out in the main square in the center of town, and it was so weird to see life. Like, okay, Saturday night, I'm not drunk. This is so weird. And the
Here's a
funniest
funny
thing,
story.
yeah, the funny story I told you. Like one day, that night, the first, no, listen to this. This is funny. Like that night, I see this guy that I remember was drunk every Saturday when I saw him around. I was like, hey, dude, I've quit drinking. So this is my first Saturday that I'm not drunk. And I was like, man, I have to thank you because, when I felt really drunk and bad, you were the only one worse than me. So thanks. And no, but the funny thing is that the crazier thing is that he told me, dude, but I don't drink.
Oh my gosh!
That is hilarious.
He was drunk.
You
and
thought he was drunk because he was so
He was so drunk. He's like, hey, I wasn't what you were.
No, I mean, imagine this guy. I hope we will never stop drinking. He starts drinking.
That's pretty funny. But we're running a little bit out of time, and I want to have an opportunity to have you perform live. But before we go, I want to talk for a couple of minutes. You moved in 2008 to the U.S.
Yeah, it was
You moved-
January 2009.
You were gonna
2009.
stick with that. I told you.
And I do want to mention.
How'd you get here from a group? How did you come over here from a group or?
No, let's say that after all this story, I've start when I was 22. I've started dropping off students and stuff. So I did my solo record. That was pretty, interesting as experience. And after that, I had all these endorsements. I've started having endorsements from companies that build musical instruments.
And one of your
and from
longtime
all over the world.
sponsors is
Yeah.
Tekra.
Tekra is actually my new sponsor from 3 years ago.
From
They are
3 years
doing my signature guitar now that is gonna be on the market worldwide after I release my new record that is coming out in August.
So okay,
So end
'cause
of
I know
the
we're
year is gonna
jumping
be-
around. So obviously what did you do? Build your own guitar?
Yeah, I designed my guitar. The one that I'm gonna use is a guitar that I designed. They are about to do it in Syria, like so they will sell the guitar
How did that come
worldwide.
about? How did that come about?
They asked me because I had already so many endorsements, and companies try to steal endorser to other companies, stuff like that. And I had a great experience with Washburn Guitars. That is the second oldest company in the history.
I've
They're
heard of
from
Washburn,
Chicago.
yeah.
And but the problem is that years ago they've been sold. So, we passed from a great relationship, me doing clinics for them all over the world, Venezuela, US. I was coming every year to do the NEM show.
Oh, wow.
And they gave me the US Music Corporation that owns Randall, Washburn, and other companies, gave me the award as European Artist of the Year in 2007 at the NEM show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Patrick.
it's awesome that I wasn't the only drunk guy. There.
No, you weren't the only drunk guy, but all the experience that you had, I mean, all of this. And so you created. I'm trying to get to
my
this
stuff,
guitar.
yeah.
How does somebody decide to just, because
Yeah,
guitars
so,
are already
yeah.
out there, how did you create this new one?
Yeah, so it happened that I didn't really think, like, even, growing as a musician, you start thinking about, what you would like to improve on your guitars and stuff. These guys of Tekra, they told me, why don't you leave Washburn? I was having tough times because after all these great times with them, they've been sold.
Yeah,
And so the
new
transition
people.
moment made it a little tough, So I was ready to go probably, and they talked to me, yeah, we would like to do your signature guitar. So we spoke about that. It took like 1 year to sign the contract, have everything, right. And then I designed the guitar. We did a few prototypes,
beautiful.
and now they are gonna sell it worldwide. I think at the end of the year.
What is it called? Is there a name for
It's
your
PA. This is Patrick Abbate. P.A. Tekra. Tekra is the company, and
how
so
beautiful.
the signature model is PA, and there are two colors, Roswell and Tesla.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get him to what?
Yes. Thanks.
Did you cover everything? Are you going to get to his play or what?
Well, no, I just wanted to touch
And
on.
yeah, so I came to the US. I was
Came
coming
to the
every
US?
year. I came to
With
the
Tekra?
US. Yeah, I will be super. No, Tekra is actually an Italian company.
Oh,
So weird.
Okay, all right, forget it. I'm just going to.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just because it's because you don't expect what I'm gonna say, like that I didn't have real connections in LA. So I came to LA just, I played at the NEM show in
The NAMM show's a
January
big show
2000,
for musicians to make connections and stuff.
but I was coming every year, and
Right.
so in 2009 I decided to come for the NEM show. Stay, I came the day before the show started. I played for 4 days, and then I was like, okay, this is LA, let's make it happen. So from nothing, I had to go around, understand about geography of the city and all these things, all the logistic and stuff. And in 3 months, because you have 90 days with a touristic visa, let's say, in 3 months I arranged everything to have an artistic visa. So they gave me the artistic visa.
See, I didn't even know there was an artistic visa.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah,
And
you know
then
what's
you said
funny
for extraordinary
about-
talents or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
right?
Extraordinary abilities.
That's,
Wow.
actually, it's the O1 that is for artists, for scientists, for
That's a big deal.
Wow.
athletes.
That's a big, big deal.
Yeah, I mean, they can do mistakes, so they gave me the
Oh.
visa. No, and so they gave me the visa, and then I was able to work in the US as a musician for 3 years, and then instead of renewing that, I've asked the green card for the same reasons. And because when you have all these endorsements, and I did so many things all over the world, I had reviews and stuff. It was pretty easy to have the green card.
And at the time, you were touring with Black Sheep, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I've joined Black Sheep. That is the band where Slash and many famous guys like that were playing. Like Guns N' Roses, they've still Slash from Black Sheep.
They did. I've heard.
Yeah.
I've seen that on VH1.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been playing with Black Sheep for a long time.
So rock is your
yeah,
baby.
It
Would
is,
you
but the
say?
truth is that I play completely different stuff. Like
Okay,
you can't
that's right.
expect me
Don't
to
put
do
you in a
certain-
don't put you in a
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
Good for you.
I love rock, so that's cool. But I
And
do
today, you're
love-
performing live.
Yeah.
You're performing live. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. On this commercial break, we're going to
Real
play
quick.
one of Patrick Abbate's songs called Rock On. You're going to hear it right here. But
Oh, I
when we
love it.
come back, we're going to have him live, performing live here on LA Talk Live on Joy in My House. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to stay tuned for this.
Yeah,
Don't miss.
He's
Come
awesome.
right back.
Yay, Patrick. That ends good. Wow.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Join My House, inspirational internet broadcasting show with a touch of recovery, a reality radio show where nothing is left unsaid.
And no one is insignificant or their talent, man.
We are joined today by Patrick Abbate, who's going to be performing live off his new CD, who is sponsored by Tekra and his custom guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Patrick Abbate. Enjoy.
Yay.
Woohoo! Great job, Patrick. Hey, just go ahead and grab the mic right there, Patrick.
Whoa, Patrick.
Patrick,
Oh.
amazing. What a gift you have, Patrick. What a gift that you have.
God. What
You know,
a-
Patrick, I do want to ask, we're ready to close the show, but we like to ask this of all of our guests. Joy in my house. What does joy in my house mean to you?
I think that after all these crazy things I told you that happened and stuff, probably joy in the house means that you should find the joy inside of yourself first. You know, that's probably, you know, the cool thing. Like you gotta, like appreciate what you have and make it happen, inside yourself, without expecting something to happen from nothing.
Thank you for that.
Thank you
Thank you for
so
coming on the
much.
show, Patrick
Amazing.
Abbate, ladies and gentlemen, amazing guitarist. Find his Facebook
Love you,
page, find his
Patrick.
website at patrickabate.com, Facebook / Patrick Abbate. Find him, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to want to miss when his album drops, ladies and gentlemen.
you.
This is Joy in My House, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to join us next week with Gina Graham from Alternative to Domestic Violence. She'll be joining us. Stay tuned. Find all of our archives message. Find us on Facebook / Joy in My House. This is Ali Talk
Bye,
Live,
Dan,
ladies
Eric.
and
Love
gentlemen.
you.
Have a great and blessed day. This is Joy in My House. Catch us next week at noon.
Bye bye.
My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. Dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. Who Christ is solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking